everyone, and welcome to the Hold On Till Dawn podcast. I'm your host, Erin, and today we have a very special guest. It's Drew Seeley.
How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. Hey, like my shirt?
Oh, yes, that's awesome. Good.
How
How
are
have
you?
you?
What's going on?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Doing okay. Doing all right. Can you
Thank
hear me
you.
okay? This is sort of the best setup I have at the moment because Amy
Yeah,
doesn't.
I can hear you really clearly, actually. That's good.
Great. Wonderful.
Yeah. So what have you been up to recently?
Just in trying to get every ounce of joy out of the summer before it's over.
Yeah.
First starts, she just turned 5 and she's
Oh,
starting
wow.
kindergarten in a couple of weeks. So trying to hit the beach every other day and just, stay present and enjoy this quick phase of life.
Yeah. Do you live kind of close to the beach?
Like 30 minutes. But it's always worth the drive. It's never you never regret going to the beach.
Right. Yeah. I live a little bit
Traffic.
further. I live like an hour away from a beach, but
Yeah.
it could be worse. So I wanted to ask, what was your experience like with the concert in September?
It was great. Thank you for bringing me out. I ended up doing a show with Grace a month later, which was cool. So it was fun.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Um, starting a friendship and maintaining it, through that. That was a treat. But I love singing. I love performing for people, and I love a positive cause that helps people in the world. So it touched all the bases for me. And I don't really I haven't sang out like that other than this show probably in the last 2 years. So
Oh,
I've never
wow.
recording in the studio. So it was sort of a treat, a chance to see if I still got it, test out the old legs. So
Well, you did. You
a
were
good time.
amazing, and it was so awesome having you be a part of it.
Yeah, it was a good lineup, Johnny, and yeah, you found some good talent and nice people.
Yeah, they're all really nice. And I'm so excited that every single one of you is coming on the podcast. So that is like awesome. So, do you want to talk a little bit about Love Actually Live, like how it came to be and what the experience was like for you?
Sure. Yeah, it's something that I had my eye on the year previous or a couple of years ago and said like if this ever comes around as an opportunity, like tell them I'm interested. And just got a phone call one day and said like do you want to do this? It's a 2-month deal. And I love being on stage. It's one of my favorite places to be. And it was some really fun music to sing in a very cool movie, which I realize now, in some ways didn't age the best. But despite that, it was still a lot of fun to do, and everybody involved was so talented and so kind, and I made some great friends. I feel like my best friends, most of them come from different theater jobs that I've done because you're forced to like you're in close quarters with people for an extended amount of time and
Yeah,
connects you to people so much more than other things, at least for me. So yeah, made some great friends. Um I got COVID at the end of it, so I missed the last week of shows, which is a real bummer.
oh no.
Yeah, but such is life. But yeah, I hope to do something like that again soon. It was great. And For the Record, which is the theater company that put it on, is fantastic. They've been doing like movie based shows in LA for the last 10 years, and really enjoy getting to know those guys because I've been a fan of their previous presentations. So it's fun to be part of one of them.
That's great. So I feel like I don't really know this story, and I don't know if a lot of other people do. But how did you kind of get your start in the entertainment industry?
Sorry, this loud thing in the can you hear that? It's the, anyway, how did I get my start? Well,
Yep.
I started acting when I was a kid. When I lived in Toronto, um, my mom took me and my sister to auditions, and I got close on some theater stuff. I was almost in Les Mis and a couple of things, and I finally got a job finally. I was 11, but I was one of the ensemble kids in the revival of Showboat in Toronto, which after Toronto went to Broadway for a number of years. I did not get to go to New York with the show because I grew too tall. You know, it was one of the kids. I was just about to go through a growth spurt. So I did
Oh,
the show for a year in Toronto, and it was my after school job every day. And while I was in middle school, most of my friends, played hockey, and I went to the theater. But I got to sing and act, and I was like only 11, but I was like, oh my God, this is everything that I love doing, and I want to keep doing this. So um, right after that ended, my whole family moved to Florida, and I got involved in my high school theater program immediately, and ended up doing all the musicals and all the plays in high school that I could. And that was really like my main training grounds. And then there was a period in the early 2000s where North Carolina was a big filming hub on the East Coast, Screen Gems up in Wilmington. So I ended up getting my SAG card, which kind of, so makes you a professional actor,
mm-hmm.
by doing Dawson's Creek and One Tree Hill in North Carolina. And that was really kind of where I started. And then ended up moving to LA in about 2004 and just hitting the pavement and, trying to make something happen, and did a couple of made for TV movies and random things, but then lucked into being involved in vocals for High School Musical. And then since
Yeah,
then, that led to a lot of other, work begets work. So one thing led to the next, and I've just been very fortunate since then to be continually working.
that's awesome. I didn't know that One Tree Hill was one of the first things you did. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
I'll do the occasional One Tree Hill convention, and I did a charity basketball game about a month ago, and some people were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we know you from something else," but like, you were in One Tree Hill? What?
Yeah. Like two
Very, very,
episodes,
very, very
right?
small part. Yeah, 2 episodes, one of which I was edited out of, so really only
Oh
one.
no. Oh, well, it's awesome that you were a part of it
Got me
enough
in the
to,
door, got my foot in the door. That's all you need.
yeah.
So thank you, One Tree Hill.
So this podcast is about music, but also about mental health. So I wanted to ask you, on days where you're going through a difficult time, what is something that you like to do to pull yourself out of it?
Move my body somehow, whether it's going for a run or trying to find a yoga class somewhere, or just taking a walk around the neighborhood, taking the dog on an extra long walk. I feel like if I sit in one place, I end up stewing and staying in my brain. If I
Yeah.
get out in the world, start looking around, it gets me out of my um, self-imposed hole. So that's always the first thing, and listening to music really.
hmm
Um, watching YouTube videos never helps, but if I put on something with an interesting melody, or just kind of go down a rabbit hole of music I don't know and start listening to it and focusing on that, then I get flooded very easily. I've noticed, so that's that allows me to step away long enough to then calmly and rationally think about, okay, what are you actually upset about? Like, what's, you know,
hmm
is this as dire as you're making it, or are you just catastrophizing the whole thing, which
Yeah.
I tend to do. So
Getting into your head. Yeah, I can relate to that too.
out of my
Yeah.
head and into my body is always the fastest way to feel better.
hmm And if you could give advice to someone that is struggling, what would you say?
Um, I mean, that's a wide question, because there's so many. Everyone's struggle is important, but there's like, you know, you can be struggling because you didn't have your morning coffee and you're just feeling mad about it, or you can be like struggling with some like life altering
Yeah.
issues going on. So I don't want to minimize anybody's. Everybody's. I'm losing my train of thought. What was the question?
If there's someone listening that's struggling, what would you say to them?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't mean to minimize, not to minimize anybody, but gratitude is the best way to get me out of and struggles that are not really struggles. If I'm just ornery for some reason, or like I don't get my way, if something does not go my way and I'm really disappointed, like finding ways to be grateful, or having a practice of reminding yourself of the good things that are happening, can neutralize that and kind of shift the balance for me. I understand that it's, if you're going through some like really, really dire stuff, it's hard to just stop everything and be grateful, but I feel like there's always something that you can be grateful for. Sometimes it might be harder to find, or to get in the headspace where you can make that shift. But I think that's just like moving your body. That's the other fastest way out, mental way out, is to try to just shift your focus, at least for a moment,
Yeah, take your mind off of it.
Hard, yeah.
And the last question I have is, what kind of music do you personally like to listen to, and what is your current favorite song?
We listen to a lot of sort of like, who Krungbin is?
No, I've never heard of
Sort of
them.
like indie rock, just like guitar, bass, and drums, sort of meandering desert, dreamy, ethereal kind of stuff, not with a lot of lyrics. I've been listening to mostly music with no lyrics lately. That's been my jam, because I can
nice.
listen to it while I'm doing other things, while I'm reading something, while I'm,
That's what Alex said too, actually. She likes to listen to music that doesn't have
like I
lyrics.
always used to be so focused on listening to something intensely, but I'm appreciating kind of interesting background music more these days. Maybe that's just a part of getting older. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, favorite song right now? I don't know. That's impossible, but I can tell you some favorite artists right now that I've been listening to. A lot of Tom Misch, who else recently played? Yeah, I'd say that's Joseph. I went to see Stick Figure the other day at the Greek, which is sort of like an American reggae band, which was sort of different than what I normally listen to, but it was such a feel good night. Like that's sort of the vibe I'm in right now. It's still summer, I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, that was all my questions. Do you
All
have
right.
anything else you want to add?
No, just I hope everybody watching this and listening knows how wonderful and important they are to this world, and I hope I continue to find joy in the things that I'm doing, and I hope that for you and for everybody else watching right now. And yeah, there's a lot of awful things happening in the world right now, but there's a lot of good things happening in the world too. So that's where I'm choosing to put my energy and attention.
That's good advice. Yeah.
So,
well, thank you so much for taking
yeah.
time to do this today.
Yeah, of course. Congratulations for starting this up, and I can't wait to watch the rest of the episodes.
Thank you.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Dude, thank you, Erin.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Our website is holdontildawn.com, and our email is holdontildawn@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at holdontildawn and on Facebook at Hold On Till Dawn Benefit Concert. See you next time.